Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. If you are new here, my name is Chenelle, the owner of 3 Balls Handmade Soaps and More. And in today's video, I'm going to be showing you how I made this pineapple soap. Alright y'all, so as always, I have everything, well almost everything out on my table that I'm going to be using today. First up, we have some Dead Sea mud. I also have my soap mold, some gloves, my protective eyewear, my thermometer, scale, spatula. This is a hot process soap, so I have my crock pot, my blender back there, as well as some bowls, my stick blender, and my long spout pitcher. Now, I don't have my pineapple here, y'all, because I ate it, but anyway, we will be using a pineapple for this soap. So let me go ahead and clean off my table and then we'll go ahead and get started. Alright, so first I started with my infusion. Now, I did not use this infusion at all. I changed my mind at the last minute. But right here, I do have some annatto seed powder that I'm just adding to my jar. And then we're going to fill that up with some olive oil. Now, I'm not going to talk too much on this because, again, I did not use this infusion at all. I changed my mind at the last minute, but you will see that later on. Now, next is the pineapple. Now with this, all I did was just cut this up. Now for this soap, I did use 50%. I replaced like half of my liquid with pineapple juice. Now of course I could have went to the store and bought 100% pineapple juice, but I did not want to do that. So here I am making my own pineapple juice. Alright, so right here I'm just taking this pineapple and just cutting it into chunks so that way I can place that into my mixer and it'll be a lot easier to puree and get the juice from it. Now here I am just adding in a little bit of distilled water to my pineapples. Alright, so here I am just straining the pineapples or my puree so that way I can get the juice. And once I was done, those of you that have been with me for a while, you can freeze your juice if you like. I personally just put mine in the fridge for a few hours and then I'm good to go. But again, if you feel like freezing yours, then by all means, you can freeze your juice. I personally do not freeze mine. So after I got my juice out of the way, it was then time for me to weigh out the remainder of my ingredients. Now, again, I did weigh up the annatto infusion, but I changed my mind literally at the last second. Now, I've made hot process a few ways, holding back on the shea butter, adding the super fat last, But with so much going on with this soap, I just decided to put everything in the crock pot, all of my oils in the crock pot all at once and melt them down like that. Now right here, I am adding my sodium hydroxide into my distilled water and my pineapple juice. Now, of course, when you're working with sodium hydroxide, you always want to make sure that you take the necessary precautions to protect yourself. Now, once I slowly added that in, it probably looks like I added it in pretty fast, but I do have this part sped up. So once I slowly added that in, I just kept stirring it. It kind of changed colors just a little bit. And this right here is what made me doubt whether or not I needed to add my annatto. So here I am. I decided like, no, I'm not going to do it. So all I did was just the 1 ounce of oil that I took out that I was going to replace with the infusion. All I did was just weigh that back up with the olive oil. So and y'all, to be honest, like I was literally just hoping for the best. When I was stirring my water lye solution up, I was literally just hoping for the best, hoping that I would get a good color. I was like, just please give me a yellow, please. So, and I'm pleased with the way that it turned out, and I'm so glad that I changed my mind at the last minute. Now, after I had my water lye solution added to my oils, all I did was just stick blend until I reached trace. All right, so this was about maybe 3 to 5 minutes in, somewhere in there, and we got a little bubbly going on here. So all I did was just stir that up and place the lid back on, and I did continue to check. All right, so here I am again, just checking on my soap, stirring it up, and this time it was more of like a applesauce type consistency. So yeah, I just stirred it up and then placed the lid back on and checked it again a couple of minutes later. All right, so here I am again. I don't remember. I would say maybe like 20 minutes in or so, somewhere in there. It had more of a like mashed potato type consistency. Now I did cook my soap. I always cook my soap on high, so I don't know if I mentioned that before, but I did cook this on high. Now here I am about, this right here was probably like 30-40 minutes later, and as you can see it was very translucent. So all I did was just give that a stir, and then I tested my soap to see if it was ready. And from the looks of it, I think I was at a 9. Definitely was not a 10. I was kind of going between 8 and 9 in my opinion, but I think it was more so a 9. So either way, my soap was ready. So once it was ready, it was then time for me to add in my essential oil. I wanted more of like a, of course, like a fruity type smell. So I chose grapefruit, lime, and bergamot. I probably could have left the grapefruit out. However, I did not. So I added that in there, and that's what you just see me do. And so then I just stirred that up until that was blended up very well. Now, for this soap, I wanted to go with a pineapple look. Like I wanted to do the yellow at the bottom and then like a greenish color at the top for like the stem portion. So, with that being said, that's where the Dead Sea mud comes into play. All right, so I got about halfway with the first half. Now here I am just adding in some Dead Sea mud. Now I started out with just I think I used half a teaspoon for this. I did. It was half a teaspoon. I started out with that first because of course, if you've ever worked with Dead Sea mud, then you know that it can definitely give you more of like the green won't be as like vibrant as opposed to using like the glacial marine green clay that I usually use, that I need to reorder by the way. But anyway, so now here I am just stirring it up, making sure that I have the clay mixed up very well in there. And again, I think I went back and added another half a teaspoon. So in total, I did like 1 teaspoon in total. Yep. So in total, I did 1 teaspoon of the Dead Sea mud for the green portion of my soap. And I'm actually pleased with the way that green turned out. So, and I think a lot of that had to do with one, my shea butter being yellow, the raw shea butter, and then two, of course, the pineapple juice that also helped my soap to have that like yellowish tint to it. So I think that's what prevented me from getting a darker type of green, because again, I've worked with Dead Sea mud before and you can get like a really dark green at times. And here she is. And of course, since technically this soap has already gone through gel phase, there's no need to cover it up. Now here I am like 24 hours later, and it was time for me to cut my soap. Y'all, I was so ready, so excited to cut this soap, just because I wanted to see if there was a difference, a big difference in between the two different colors. All right, so here she is out of the mold, and as you can see, I do have quite a few holes on that side, but I don't mind. I love the rustic look, so it does not bother me, and besides, it's gonna get cut anyway. So I was just showing you, all sides of the soap, and y'all let me know what you think so far of the color. And if you are enjoying this video thus far, please let me know down below your thoughts. If you've ever made a pineapple soap before using pineapple juice or pineapple puree, let me know that as well. But in the meantime, y'all enjoy the cut. And y'all, be sure to tune in. If you can, tune in live every Sunday. Every Sunday I go live 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And y'all, when I tell y'all I got a story to tell y'all about this soap right here, this soap almost didn't happen, but we'll discuss that Sunday. And yeah, so y'all be sure to tune in every Sunday 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Alright, so after I was done cutting my soap, it was then time for me to add the wonderful, beautiful finishing touches to my soap. If you're new to my channel, I'm talking about stamping my soap. I stamp every single one of my soaps. I just love the way that they look whenever they have a stamp on them. If you don't have your stamp, I highly, highly, highly recommend you get you one. You will definitely love your soap. So right here, I'm just placing down some saran wrap to keep soap from getting into my stamp. And just like that, y'all, we are all done. Y'all let me know what you think. This is our pineapple soap. Let me know what you think down below. If you enjoyed this video, please consider leaving me a thumbs up. And if you have not done so already, go ahead and consider subscribing to our channel. And to all of our wonderful supporters out there, we love and thank you guys so much. And until next time, I will see you guys later.